Antichrist. Against Christ, opposed to Christ, instead of Christ. That which does not confess that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh. 1 John 4, 2, 3. 2 John 7, see also all those verses. Peep. Metaphysical definition. That which denies or opposes the idea that Christ dwells in and is the true self of each individual. Against Christ, the meaning anti is opposite. This means you hate yourself. Do you hate yourself? Jesus Christ. Peace. Alright. Check this out. So you see this, right? No surprise there, right? Watch this. Looky there. And go back. It's the same thing. Now the Jewish geometry has changed because that's a different setup, but pay attention to these. Watch this. Huh. Well, looky there. Now, before you jump in the comments with the Wakanda was originally American deity and I know. That ain't the point. Just showing you how these people know this stuff. And because you don't, they can use it against you. Now check this out. Beep this. 966, right? Now, you know, you play with the numbers. You flip that 9 over, you got a 6. You got 666, right? But anyway, check this out. Watch this. Keep this in mind. 966 and 161. Watch. Look at it. Now it was 966. Now it's 696. And then it was 161. Now it's 116. Same numbers, just a different order. Right? So if you add them up, they're going to equal the same thing. It's still going to be 8. And it's still going to be 21. Right? Watch this. Watch this. Keep these numbers in mind. Watch this. Oh, that was easy because they didn't switch. You see that? Now you think that's a coincidence? You believe in coincidences? Let's look at something else real quick. If you watched my video yesterday, I haven't officially set the tone. Today is January the 26th. Here is the chart. And there is the Duads. Catch them up. You see the moon still in Cancer. No big shifts. Nothing major to really speak on. I'm not going to read moon in Cancer. You can read it for yourself. I'm done reading for people. So the only major thing, like I said, Pluto was switched to Duad. But that's about it. Now, let's get back to these numbers. Look at this. Now, if you watch my video from yesterday, I showed you how the numerology lines up with The Simpsons. Because they use this stuff against us, these numbers, and it programs the psyche. And I know this doesn't sound plausible, maybe, to some of you. But at this point, I really don't care. So I'm just going to show you what it is, and you do what you want to with it. So, I'm going to come here in a second, but before I come here to prove my point, we're going to just talk about Homer today, right? You see what the Eagles, right? Look at that. You remember 33, 66, it's always a shout out. I'm not saying that these numbers are evil. And just to prove the point to you, look at this. These numbers are not evil. The Great Sphinx is 66 feet high.
And Pharaoh Khafra, his conclusion was that no artist, no competent artist, or sculptor could possibly have used the same model for the face of the Sphinx as for the Khafra face. The
Right.
Khafra face, and there's a few Khafra faces floating around. So my criminal partner, when Frank gave us that study, his comparative study, Boris Said said, for the academic establishment, this is bad news and worse news. The bad news is that there was an Atlantis, and the worst news is they were black. Which my black friends like that phrase. But anyway.
You think that's coincidence? I know that should name my channel. You think that's a coincidence? Okay, so I'm not making the point that numbers are evil here, okay? It's just signatures for energy. Let me just show you something real quick. Hindu Arabic numerals, sets of 10 symbols. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are y'all aware that the numbers we use are Arabic? Are you aware of this? And you hardcore patriotic Americans will say a Muslim is the devil, or whatever. And you literally use Arabic symbols every day to count your money and to count everything. Anyway, my point in that these things that we call numbers are symbols. Alright? And a symbol is a sigil. And a sigil is a picture that captures or encapsulates an energy. Okay? So these symbols are ancient, and they encapsulate energies. Just because we use them to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with our fingers doesn't mean they don't have other means. So these people know this, and these people use this to their advantage. Okay? So as you see, Homer J. Simpson equals 174. And equals 66. So that's 66, 33. It's always a shout out to they shit they got going. Okay? To they, Illuminati, blah, blah, blah shit. But it's also something else in the Kabbalistic encyclopedia, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But I'm not going to go into pictures because I've already wrote it down. Or typed it in, I should say. In here. See? So I don't need to go to pictures and pictures. If you won't believe me, go to the book and find it for yourself. Now check this out. Lastly, see this 174. Watch. Alright. Alright, so you see Homer is connected to black. Alright, even black and broken down is 29 or 11. And if we go to the numerology, you'll see Homer Simpson without the J equals 11, which corresponds to the twin pillars. And then even down here on another scale, something else corresponds to the twin pillars. So they're doing this on purpose. Alright, but before we get to the numerology, let me just show you something. Just show you some more stuff. Just some simple stuff. Check this out. First off, his name is Homer. Right? Homer. So you got Homer and you got Marge. So that's Mer and Mer. Mer and Mar. Right? Alright. So you see it comes from the Greek Homerus. Right? Just so we understand. Goes back to the Greek, right? Homerus. But the Greek comes from the Hebrew. An ancient unit of measurement, about 10 bushels, about 100 gallons, also called core. Peep. Homer, spelled this way in Hebrew. That's Chet Mem Resh. Resh is 200, Mem is 40, Chet is 8. So that's 248, right? 248 is what? 14. 248 is 14, right? Right, Pete? What's 14? 1 plus 4. What's 1 plus 4? 5. You think that's a coincidence? I'm sure. But watch this. Now, I'm telling you, Homer is to represent black folks. Alright? See it go back to the Hebrew. But just for confirmation, let's go to Simpson. Oh no, hold on. Before I go to Simpson, let me show you with the numerology. You see Chet, Memresh, a bitumen, and ass from 2 disturbed wines. Another definition of the word. It's the same word. Told you. It equal 248. Right. Look what else equal 248. If you don't know, Abraham was a dark-skinned person, right? I mean, if these people were real, right? We know what ham is supposed to represent, right? Dark-skinned people. But if that's a stretch for you, let's go to Simpson. Simpson means son of Simon. Simon derived from the Hebrew. You think it's a coincidence that both his names go back to Hebrew? And we know who the real Hebrew Israelites is or what have you. But let's just show black folks what they should already know. Or forgive me, let me take that back. Show black folks what they don't want to believe about themselves. That's what I meant to say. You know, because I mean, hey, you believe it's all good. You didn't think none of this meant directly. You didn't think any of this had everything to do with you. So Simon, right? Look what it tell you to go to. Nigger. Peter. Simon Peter. Same as Peter. Simon called Peter. Okay, remember Peter was the rock, right? But I'll show you. Let's go to nigger, because that's what they told us to go to. Nigger. Black. Okay? So Simon is black. Simpson means son of black. Simon that was called nigger in Acts 13:1. Which I'm gonna go to just so you know what it is. My bad. Now the church was an Antioch, certain prophets and teachers, Barnabas, Simon, who was called nigger. Black. The black guy. So Homer Simpson represents the black people. Okay? I already showed in the last video how his ancestors, mated with black slaves or what have you, and produced him and his family. And then Marge is supposed to be Creole, what have you. You understand? So this gonna be part 1, and then we're gonna go to these. Now what I really want to do, because just to show y'all this real quick, what I really want to do is put all this in the archive. Like, I want to make my own encyclopedia, numerological encyclopedia. Just basically take the David, is it David Godwin? Is that the name of that? What's the name of this author of this book? Yeah, David Godwin. And cross reference those with modernized cinema and how those energies have been utilized in cinema, in our movies of today, and compile a study book for future, you know what I'm saying, whatevers, in whatever ways that people are using these archetypes for in the future. I mean, they're I personally, in my opinion, the sky's the limit. The firmament is the limit. You know what I mean? Because it just depends on where your knowledge base is when it comes to numerology. If you really know what this stuff is about, then you know how powerful something like that could be. And that's my goal. And as you can see, I've been working on it for some years now. I started this on Infinity War. and I went in and I got. But anyway, so that's what I want to do with a lot of these movies and a lot of these shows that's been running for so long. The archetypes that they've been utilizing to program the masses with, or and not even to sound so sinister. You know what I mean? To program the masses, to sell their products. You know what I mean? To make money, to be prosperous. When people write a story, any story, they use the same archetypes. The love story or the revenge story, or you know what I mean. It's certain tropes, and just it's certain ways to write stories and etc. And people who know these the metaphysics and the esoteric and the occultisms of it use them. So what I want to do is, like I say, compile a study guide, an encyclopedia for us to utilize in the future for everything that we do. You know. So tomorrow I'm gonna go in more. I'm gonna go straight to the numerology. I just want to lay down that foundation of how they utilize the names, the numbers to resonate with particular energies, so they can run their particular spells and their particular. You know what I mean? The evil people can do their magic, and people who just trying to prosper can utilize it maybe to better humanity. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody ain't evil. So we're gonna leave it at that. And tomorrow, I'm gonna keep on with this because I done compiled this, and I don't want to just do it for my own self like I've been doing. So I'm gonna share a lot of the I got stuff, and I'm gonna go in for the rest of these as we move on. Because ultimately, we need to understand this. So let me finish this. Those who make the indwelling spirit of truth their guide and authority will not be deceived by false claims made by either by individuals or by institutions. The way to safety is to trust the spirit of truth continually for protection from false ideas. The man of sin is the carnal mind. Remember what I told you the carnal mind was in the last video. In each individual, and it always opposes and misrepresents the truth. Sometimes it poses as an angel of light and truth. Everyone who overcomes this inner adversary, whom is Satan, will be saved from all deception that may be practiced by anybody or anything that claims the place of the Lord Jesus Christ. The overthrow of the man of sin is promised. To obtain fulfillment of that promise, we have only to keep ourselves one with the spirit of truth. As an instance of the work of Antichrist, we see in the world a very active effort to exalt death and to delude men into believing that death is the way to eternal life in heaven. Such a thought is opposed to Christ, because Jesus came to deliver the human race from death and to fulfill in man God's perfect will, abundant life. Those who are guided by the Spirit of truth understand the life teachings and are not led astray by any philosophy that makes death and the grave necessary factors in spiritual growth. Get it? Peace.